And as you heard from the chair of the Finance Committee in Parliament, many Kenyans have ideas, many institutions are stepping forward to work with us on how we can raise revenues locally. And I am very proud. A while ago, the conversation was how much of the debt is allocated to even children who are not yet born. Public debt. I am happy that this time around we are having a conversation about not debt, but taxes. That is significant improvement. We have moved away from how much debt we are accumulating to how much tax we are paying. I think that is, we are in the right place. We are having the right conversation. And it is because I did commit to the country that we are going to begin the journey to wean ourselves from living beyond our means, living within our budgets. If we must cut down on our budgets so that we can live within our means and avoid the slippery path towards accumulating debts. Instead, have the conversation not about how much debt we are accumulating, but about how much taxes we are paying. What is required is the exercise of greater imagination, commitment to national values and principles of governance, and the use of technology and innovation to improve service delivery. And I note with appreciation that the KRA has been undertaking reforms in this direction, which include the use of technology to integrate the taxpayer revenue administration systems to all real-time and automatic exchange of actionable data. And I want to commend what has been achieved in this space between the KRA and all the other people in between. Our decision to significantly enhance efficiency and integrity in the provision of public services to citizens by digitizing over 13,000 government services has gone a long way to enhance revenue performance. Monthly revenues, for example, from fees have already risen to about 8 billion from 2 billion monthly, an increase of close to 400% on the e-citizen platform. As we can all see, the interventions leading to improved performance are efficiency, integrity, and it is also service-oriented. As a government that believes in accountability, we must give the institution of the Auditor General's Office the necessary capacity, leeway, and latitude for them to hold every government agency and every government ministry and the whole of government accountable to the people of Kenya through audits and make sure that we spend the people's money efficiently. It is important that our government, or that as government, we communicate this commitment clearly because the citizens and taxpayers deserve to know it as a matter of right. Our taxpayers are supporting national transformation by financing the provision of public services, strategic investments, and our other national revenue sovereignty requirements. Let me encourage all of us that what KRA is doing is not about KRA, it's about us. It is our responsibility, all of us as Kenyans, to make sure that each one of us pays tax. I got a very interesting message yesterday from a patriotic Kenyan, and I sent it to the Commissioner General of KRA yesterday. Si ulipata Bwana Watanga, you know? about a Kenyan who is saying, look, there is this company here who don't pay tax and they threaten people because there are some big people, it belongs to some senior guys. And so I sent the contact to the KRA CG, and I told him, however big, however senior, however powerful the owners of that company, they must pay tax like all other Kenyans. And that nobody should threaten KRA using their positions, using their connections, using their power for them to avoid paying tax. We must all pay tax. And once we are paid tax, let us demand from government that our taxes are used in the proper manner. They are not stolen, they are not corruptly used, they are used in the proper manner. I am really looking for that day when we all pay tax and demand from government that that tax is used properly. We celebrate all our taxpayers today. I know we will celebrate those who have done very well, but we must also celebrate all those who have made their contribution to where we are today. I urge all Kenyans to respect and honor those amongst us who perform their part in supporting national development by voluntarily paying their taxes, and encourage those who have not to register and obtain KRA personal identification numbers and join the ranks of our patriotic mashujaa who keep the wheels of our development in motion by paying their part of taxes. As always, I remain committed to lead from the front on this matter of great national importance, to pay my taxes when they fall due and submit my tax return on time as is required. I will continue to lead from the front and expect everybody to walk in that journey. Not only is it possible to be efficient and effective while being courteous and considerate, it is the only way to serve taxpayers and other members of the public. It is not necessary for effective revenue collection to be unpleasant or demeaning to taxpayers or members of the public. We can combine efficiency, effectiveness with courtesy and being handling our clients in a courteous way. The implementation of a national digital identity framework, which I must say is already underway, will also go a long way in facilitating the collection of relevant data for revenue mobilization. In fact, it is our intention that in December, next month, we will formally launch our national digital ID framework that Kenyans can now identify themselves digitally, and you do not have to carry your ID. You can have it on your phone. The time has come for the Kenya Revenue Authority to undertake a comprehensive culture change to make it aligned with the revenue mobilization imperatives of a new constitutional dispensation, governing platform, and strategic realities, and of course, the economic conditions under which we live. This is the spirit in which the KRA recently recruited specially trained revenue service assistants as a move to enhance the revenue mobilization capacity and taxpayer compliance through service-oriented, citizen-centric methods of facilitating voluntary compliance in keeping with our fundamental commitment to decriminalize enterprise and enable all levels of business from micro, small, medium enterprises all the way to global multinational companies to meet their tax obligations. The KRA must therefore continuously demonstrate a singular commitment to new service-oriented values and signal a departure from the abuses and excesses of previous times, which only served to elicit resentment and encourage evasion while facilitating wastage, sometimes even theft, embezzlement, and other corrupt activities. KRA, I am sure, now knows that it is possible to be courteous, kind, and gentle to taxpayers, and at the same time become even more effective and efficient in tax collection. I am sure they know that. I recognize the cardinal obligation of government to utilize all revenues prudently and efficiently in the service of our citizens. This commitment stands, and we are committed to do so with maximum transparency and maximum accountability. This is why I use every moment to publicize what government is doing for the people of Kenya, because that is how our taxes are meant to be used, should be used, and the people of Kenya are encouraged to keep us in check as we spend their resources. I will in due course provide a more elaborate formal account to sustain this engagement and provide comfort that none of the resources committed to my charge is being wasted or mismanaged or stolen. The bottom-up economic transformation agenda identifies the significant improvement of productivity in key areas as an urgent priority for national economic governance efforts. Such improvements require immense investments, and the resources to invest come from the revenues we collect as taxes. There is simply no space for wastage or corruption, because that would be the recipe for disastrous failure. Our tolerance for corruption, therefore, is absolute zero. In line with this, today, the Cabinet approved Public Audit Amendment Bill 2023, which will enhance the Auditor General's independence and transparency to ensure proper utilization of public resources through audits, and also provide power for fraud investigation. In the education sector, we have made a huge commitment. In fact, because of the centrality of education as an equalizer, and because of the importance of our human capital as the biggest resource, most important resource we have as a nation, we have focused extensively on funding education. If you compare last year, the education budget last year was 545 billion. This year, including what we have factored in the supplementary that is now in Parliament, it is improving from 545 billion to 690 billion, a whole 145 billion additional money for our education. And this is deliberate. It is deliberate because we believe every child in Kenya should have a chance at life by making sure that they have access to education. Our budget to TSC has increased by about 20 billion because we are hiring additional teachers. 56,000 teachers are on our payroll, additional teachers this year. We are increasing the money going to our universities by a whole 48 billion. So what I see in the horizon is an improved human capital that we have developed. The money that is supposed to go to our TVETs and our universities and the space outside TSC is about this year 252 billion. Last year, it was 204 billion. So in just that space, we are increasing by 48 billion that is going to go into that space. And already, contrary to reports all over the place, we have released 62 billion out of that 252 billion. And I want to commit to the country that we are committed, we are serious, we are determined to make sure that we fund our education appropriately, contrary to what we have seen in the past, where universities were languishing in debt and were completely unable to deliver on their mandate. Well done to all of you who are being recognized today. Keep it up, and let us see you again next year performing better. And for those of us who are not in this category, let us strive so that we are in this category next year. I want to ask KRA to think about the scripture. There was a lady who gave an offering of, I think it was 2 cents. And Jesus said she had given the most because she gave everything she had. So I think consider the smaller guys who give 100% of what is due from them. It may be small, but they have done 100% of what is due from them. Maybe these big boys, maybe they are doing 80% of what is due. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying maybe I'm just making a proposition.